Listen closely, because what I am about to share is already sending shockwaves through Washington, and millions of seniors across America are waking up to a development that nobody expected. In one single night, Social Security went from a quiet background issue to the biggest political shakeup in years. And it all began with one sudden move from Donald Trump that caught lawmakers on both sides completely off guard. What happens next could directly affect your monthly check, your long-term benefits, your retirement planning, and the financial stability of millions of households. So don't go anywhere, because the full story is something you need to hear. For months, Social Security received barely a mention in the halls of Congress. The conversations that did take place were slow, predictable, filled with the same tired delays we've heard for years. Nothing new, nothing urgent, nothing surprising. Then, this week, everything changed. One out of the blue announcement from Trump ignited a chain reaction that spread through committees, policy teams, and federal agencies faster than anyone could process. Staffers pulled all-nighters running numbers. Analysts began prepping internal simulations. Senators started dialing up emergency calls, and suddenly, in one dramatic shift, the future of Social Security became the #1 topic behind closed doors. But the real twist is this: early data suggests seniors may actually come out ahead this time, and these early calculations didn't show cuts or reductions or warnings. They showed meaningful improvements that nobody thought were on the table. That is when Washington stopped panicking and started paying attention, because when seniors benefit, the political landscape shifts instantly. According to people in the room, it all started in a closed-door meeting that wasn't even supposed to be about Social Security. Staff anticipated a routine discussion that would end with a stack of documents and nothing dramatic. But halfway through, Trump turned the whole direction of the conversation. He introduced a new Social Security outline that wasn't on the agenda, wasn't leaked, and wasn't circulated in advance. Even his own aides weren't fully prepared for what he brought up. By that afternoon, committee chairs were calling for information. Analysts inside the Social Security Administration were running early models. Reporters were chasing leads, trying to make sense of the situation, and Social Security suddenly became the hottest topic in Washington. What surprised policymakers most wasn't the timing, but the scale of the idea. This wasn't a minor adjustment or a small cost of living tweak. It was a structural change that could reshape benefits for decades. Some say Trump is responding to rising living costs. Others believe he wants to firm up support among seniors heading into the next political cycle. But behind the scenes, things got chaotic quickly. Committees were asking for updated projections. Economists scrambled to publish initial analyses. Agencies were getting requests for numbers, despite the fact that the full proposal wasn't written yet. Then came the real shock. The first internal calculations began circulating, and instead of gaps or cuts, the analysts saw increases in benefits. Not amorphous improvements, real, significant enhancements for seniors. The first group that was identified as possible winners includes long-time retirees, especially those who have been collecting benefits for over 10 years. These have been hit the hardest by inflation, particularly those who retired before 2015. The cost of living adjustments simply haven't kept pace. Trump's outline apparently includes an adjustment to strengthen benefits for this older group. Next came SSDI recipients. Disability advocates said they were surprised to see protections aimed at Americans with long-term disabilities whose benefits have eroded over time. And SSI beneficiaries weren't left out either. Early drafts suggest changing income thresholds to allow more people to qualify without losing. But the biggest surprise was something analysts are calling an inflation correction mechanism. In simple terms, this idea tries to recalibrate benefits for seniors whose cost of living increases failed to keep up with the real inflation of the last 3 years. It is the first proposal that tries to fix not only future inflation, but the inflation seniors have already endured. But as is often the case in Washington, there is a catch. These projected increases would not be evenly applied. Higher income beneficiaries might see smaller adjustments. Younger retirees could get smaller boosts than those well into their 70s or 80s. Some SSDI cases do involve mixed earnings histories that fall into gray areas yet to be sorted out by lawmakers. Despite such complications, one clear fact cannot be overlooked by Washington. Seniors are at the heart of this proposal, and the benefits they might receive are sizable. But what happens next? The first major step is a series of internal reviews in which congressional committees demand updated cost estimates. If the numbers seem to show that the proposal is affordable, if the costs seem high, stand by for arguments, delays, and negotiations. Next, come a series of hearings at which experts, SSA officials, economists, and advocacy groups will have their say. If you are getting Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or survivor benefits, watch your mail closely. Scammers try to take advantage of big changes being discussed. Remember, the Social Security Administration will never call you unexpectedly, ask for money, or ask for your banking information over the phone. Whether these proposed benefits